According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 62% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in savings. Yeah, you heard that right. 63%. That means if your car breaks down, your washing machine dies, or your dog eats your neighbor's kid's homework, you're toast. You're the human equivalent of a soggy ramen noodle. But don't worry, I'm not here to roast you. Well, maybe a little. Today, we're going deep into the 3 money milestones every beginner should absolutely know about. Hit these milestones and you're leveling up financially like a boss. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment down below with your current financial flex. Don't lie, I see you with zero in your checking account, Bob. Seriously, engagement helps the channel grow, and if you stick around, I'll actually help you stop being broke as... Alright, let's get real. Most beginners think the path to wealth is some mystical stuff like investing in crypto, winning the lottery, or getting a sugar daddy who pays for rent. That's not it. Wealth is math. Plain, boring, soul-crushing math. But don't worry, I'll make it fun enough that you won't want to gouge your eyes out. Cold hard truth about the average American. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median income for a full-time worker in the US is about $55,000 a year. Sounds okay, right? But after taxes, housing, food, student loans, and those impulsive Amazon buys at 2 a.m., you're lucky if you're left with $200 a month to actually do something meaningful with your life. That's $200. That's one dinner at a mediocre steakhouse if you're feeling fancy. Now, before you start sobbing into your ramen, let me break it down. If you make $55K a year, that's about $4,583 a month before taxes. After federal and state taxes, average rate about 22%, you're down to roughly $3,570 a month. Rent eats up $1,200 on a cheap apartment in a not ghetto but not really nice neighborhood. Utilities, food, and transportation gobble up another $1,500. Congratulations, you've got $870 left. And that's on a good month. Now, imagine if you could hit just the first money milestone. Spoiler alert, it's not a Lamborghini or a moon mansion. It's emergency savings. And yes, it's as boring as it sounds, but also as life-saving as a fire extinguisher in a house full of pyromaniacs. Before I go further, smash that like button if you've ever spent more than you should on something dumb. Guilty as charged, baby. And don't forget, comment your biggest financial fail. The worse, the better. Let's normalize making mistakes and then learning fast so you stop being a broke nerd. Here's the kicker. Once you understand these 3 milestones, you're not just surviving, you're taking control of your money like a financial Thor, swinging a hammer at debt, poor choices, and impulsive spending. Trust me, this is the difference between being a sad little Karen crying about student loans and a Chad casually sipping Starbucks because your money works for you, not the other way around. In the next part, we're diving straight into milestone number 1, your emergency fund, how to calculate it properly, and why it's your first shield against financial disasters. We'll do real math, real examples, and real laughs. No fluff, no guru say this, just cold, hard numbers that slap harder than your bank account after a bad Amazon binge. Alright, listen up, brokes. Milestone number 1 is your emergency fund, the holy grail of financial adulting. If you don't have this, you're basically walking around with a blindfold in a room full of landmines. Life will hit you with car repairs, medical bills, and random disasters, and without this, you're screwed. So what the hell is an emergency fund? Simple. It's cash set aside specifically for unexpected expenses, not for that impulsive Yeezy drop or TikTok investing tips. Think of it as your financial armor. The bigger the better. Experts like Bankrate and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority recommend 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Let's break it down so even your cousin who spends all day gaming and calling everyone a noob can understand. You make $3,570 a month after taxes, and your essentials, rent, food, utilities, and transportation come out to $2,700 a month. That's your monthly burn rate. Multiply that by 3 months, $2,700 times 3, $8,100. That's your bare bones, I'm not going to die if life sucks emergency fund. Want to be a Chad and feel untouchable? Go for 6 months. $2,700 times 6, $16,200. That's a nice cushion. It's like having a financial force field. You get laid off, car explodes, Aunt Karen needs bail money, you're covered. Now I know what you're thinking. Peter, $8,000 plus is impossible on my salary. Jill, I got you. You don't save this overnight unless you rob a bank or win the lottery. We do it step by step. Example time. Let's say you save $300 a month. That's skipping Starbucks for a few months, maybe saying no to the impulse Amazon buys and cutting down on treat yourself nights. At $300 a month to hit $8,100, $8,100 divided by 300, 27 months. About 2 years and 3 months. Yeah, it sucks. But compare that to going broke the second your car dies. Suddenly, 27 months sounds like a minor sacrifice. Want to accelerate it? You gotta get aggressive. Freelance, pick up a side hustle, or sell the clutter in your apartment you've been calling vintage aesthetic. Add another $200 per month from side income, now you're saving $500 per month. $8,100 divided by 500, 16.2 months. Boom, less than a year and a half. And don't even get me started on interest. Put this cash in a high-yield savings account. Current rates hover around 5% APY, according to Bankrate. Yeah, it's not crypto-level moon money, but it's better than nothing, and your fund grows while you sleep. Literally, your money works while you binge-watch Netflix. Here's a real-life scenario. Imagine your car breaks down, repairs cost $1,200. You're average broke without an emergency fund. What do? Borrow, swipe your credit card, or cry in the corner. You'll pay interest, fees, and stress. With a proper emergency fund, you swipe $1,200 from your fund, fix the car, zero debt, zero stress. You just dodge financial chaos like a pro. That's power, baby. That's adulting like a Chad while everyone else is crying over ramen. Comment down below. How much do you currently have saved? Be honest. Don't be a Karen. Let's see who's actually taking this seriously. Now, before we move on to milestone number 2, here's the pro tip. Don't touch your emergency fund for anything but emergencies. Birthday gifts? Nope. Impulse splurges? Nope. Crypto FOMO? Big nope. Treat it like sacred cash because one bad choice can erase months of discipline. Okay, you've got your emergency fund mapped out. That's milestone number 1 checked. You're officially on the path from broke noob to semi-respectable adult. Next up, milestone number 2. The place where average folks get absolutely destroyed. High-interest debt. We're talking credit cards, personal loans, and student loans that crush your financial soul. We're going to break it down with real stats, math, and yes, some brutal roast moments. All right, broke, strap in. Milestone number 2 is where most beginners completely implode. High-interest debt. I'm talking credit cards, payday loans, and those friendly personal loans that charge more interest than a loan shark on Red Bull. Here's the ugly truth. According to the Federal Reserve, the average American owes $6,270 in credit card debt with an average APR of 16%. That's insane. 16%. That's like paying extra just for being poor, and somehow people call this normal adulting. Let's break this down like we're not idiots. Imagine you have $6,000 in credit card debt at 18% APR. Minimum monthly payment, $150. If you just pay the minimum, you're looking at, hold on to your stomach, over 40 years to pay it off and paying more than $20,000 in interest. Yeah, your debt literally eats more money than your Netflix subscription ever will. That's the average broke Karen scenario. You're working, grinding, and yet somehow your debt multiplies faster than your ex's excuses. Now, let's see how a smart Chad investor would handle this. First, stop making minimum payments like a dumbass. Pay as much as possible above the minimum. Let's say you can throw $600 a month at this debt instead of $150. Debt, $6,000. APR, 18%. Payment, $600 a month. Time to pay off, roughly 12 months. Total interest paid, about $540. Boom. From 40 years to 1 year. That's the difference between being a financial prisoner and being free. You see the difference? One approach keeps you in debt forever, crying over ramen while your credit score dies a slow death. The other, you crush debt like a financial Godzilla and move on to bigger, better money moves. Here's a real-life example. Let's say Chad, the good Chad, owes $5,000 on his credit card. He's disciplined, cuts some dumb expenses, cancels 2 streaming subscriptions, eats ramen a few nights, and saves $500 extra monthly. Month 1, $5,000 debt minus $500 payment, $4,500. Month 2, $4,500 minus $500, $4,000, and so on. Within 10 months, debt is gone. Meanwhile, average Karen still owes $6,270, crying into her frappuccino. That's a whole year difference, and Karen is paying over $1,000 more in interest just because she refused to adult. Here's the psychology behind this milestone. Debt is a money trap. It's not just financial, it's emotional. Every late fee, every high-interest payment is a tiny slap to your confidence. And let's be honest, nobody wants to live like that, but you can't escape it. Prioritize high-interest debt first, then tackle lower-interest stuff like student loans.
Pro tip, make a debt payoff plan. Call it Operation Kill Karen Debt, and literally write down your target payoff date. Seeing it in black and white motivates you way more than vague, someday I'll be rich dreams. Here's a quick reality check comparison. Person. Monthly payment, $150. Time to pay off, 40 years. Total interest paid, $20,000 plus. Lifestyle, sad ramen mites crying over bills. Smart Chad, monthly payment, $600. Time to pay off, 12 months. Total interest paid, $540. Freedom, small ramen nights, financial flex. See the difference? One path leads to misery and decades of stress. The other? You take control, flex on your debt, and actually start building wealth. Another edgy tip. Once you kill this high-interest debt, don't just go back to your old habits. It's like dieting. You cheat once, and you're broke and fat, financially speaking. Turn your repayment plan into a financial habit, not a one-off hustle. And don't forget, smash that like button if you've ever made a dumb financial decision, because we've all been there. Share in the comments your debt horror story so we can all laugh, cry, and roast each other while learning. Next up, milestone number 3, the big one, the game changer, investing and building long-term wealth. This is where you graduate from struggling Chad to financial alpha. We're talking stocks, index funds, retirement accounts, and yes, real math breakdowns showing how your money literally grows while you sleep. All right, listen up, broke ass and semi-decent Chad alike. Milestone number 3 is where things get sexy. Investing and building long-term wealth. This is the point where your money stops being a sad little hamster on a wheel and starts actually working for you. Here's the cold hard truth. According to the Social Security Administration, the average American retires with just $5,000 saved. $5,000. That's basically enough to buy a used bicycle and a single Twinkie. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the Chad who retires sipping margaritas on a yacht while Karen cries over her 401k statements from 1998. First things first, start investing early. The power of compounding is no joke. Albert Einstein allegedly called it the 8th wonder of the world, and he's right. Compound interest is your secret weapon. Even small amounts grow like crazy if you give them time. Let's break it down. Imagine you start with $1,000 and you invest $300 per month into an index fund averaging 7% annual return, historical average for the S&P 500 according to Morningstar. Month 1, $1,000 plus $300 equals $1,300. Month 2, $1,300 plus $300 equals $1,603.83 with interest. Month 12, about $4,000 after 1 year of contributions and compounding. Month 60, 5 years, roughly $20,000. Yeah, your money literally grows while you binge Netflix, ignore emails, and roast people in comment sections. That's power. That's what separates the Chads from the Karens. Now, let's fast forward. Invest consistently for 30 years with the same $300 per month at 7% growth. Your total contributions? $108,000. Your total balance? Over $500,000. $500,000 from pennies a month. Mind blown. But Peter, you might whine, I don't even make $300 a month after bills. Fine, let's be realistic. Start with $100 per month. Still, 30 years at 7%, you're sitting at roughly $170,000. Not bad for a broke beginner, huh? Here's another secret. Tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks and IRAs are your best friends. You get tax breaks now or later, and your money compounds without Uncle Sam stealing your gains. If your employer matches contributions, that's literally free money. Don't be a dummy, grab it. Now, let's do a comparison of two beginners. Person, monthly investment. Years, total contributions, ending balance. Average Karen, $0, 30 years, $0, $0. Smart Chad, $300, 30 years, $108,000, $500,000 plus. Boom! See the difference? One stays broke and cries over student loans, the other builds serious financial flex while everyone else scrolls TikTok complaining about not having money. Pro tip. Consistency beats timing. Don't try to buy low, sell high, or follow random Reddit stocks to the moon tips. That's gambling, not investing. Set up automatic contributions and forget about it. Your future self will high-five you while your current self is still whining about rent. Another hot tip, diverse. Don't put all your money in a single stock, crypto, or NFT of a monkey wearing sunglasses. Spread it across index funds, ETFs, maybe some bonds. You're building a financial fortress, not hoping to get lucky. And yes, this milestone is all about mindset. You go from reactive, like, oh no, my car broke, to proactive, my money's making money while I sleep. That's financial adulthood, that's leveling up, that's the difference between a ass and someone who casually flexes financial freedom on Instagram. By now, if you've been paying attention, you understand the 3 money milestones. Emergency fund, protect yourself from chaos, high interest debt, kill it before it kills your bank account, and investing. Hit all 3, and congrats, you're no longer a scared little Karen. You're Chad-level money boss. Life hits less hard, opportunities pop up, and your money actually grows instead of disappearing into the void. Next, we'll break down a sample monthly plan for beginners, combining these 3 milestones into one actionable roadmap. You'll see exactly how much to save, how to attack debt, and how to invest, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck. That's coming up in part 5. All right, you magnificent brokers and semi-chads alike, now it's time to put all this theory into action. You've learned about emergency funds, crushing high-interest debt, and investing like a chad. But guess what? We're not done. There's a cheat code most beginners ignore: acceleration strategies. That's right, ways to level up your money game faster than your neighbor brags about crypto games. 1. Side hustles. If your current income barely covers essentials, side hustles are your financial steroid. Freelancing, delivery gigs, tutoring, or even selling random crap online. It all counts. Let's say you pull $500 a month extra. Allocated strategically. $200 into emergency fund, $200 into debt payoff, $100 into investing. Suddenly, your emergency fund goes from 20 months to 16 months. Debt payoff, done in 9 to 10 months. Investing, already compounding faster than Karen's avocado toast addiction. 2. Frugal hacks that actually work. Cutting back doesn't mean living like a monk. Simple tweaks. Stop subscription creep. Netflix, Disney+, Audible, and that random meditation app you never use could save $100 to $200 a month. Meal prep like a pro. Cooking at home instead of Uber Eats twice a week, save $150 per month. Audit recurring expenses, insurance, cell phone, utilities. Negotiation isn't cheating, it's smart adulting. Savings? Another $50 to $100 per month. Even small changes add up when multiplied by months and years. That's the magic of compounding, not just for investments, but for savings. 3. Passive income streams. Don't sleep on dividend stocks, high-yield savings accounts, or even rental properties if you're bold. Let your money work while you binge TikTok. Imagine $200 per month passive income, $2,400 a year just for existing. That's freedom points, baby. 4. Automate everything. Set up automatic transfers for savings, debt, and investing. Why? Humans are lazy. You'll spend it if you see it. Automation equals financial discipline without having to think. That's how you outsmart yourself and become a Chad-level money boss. 5. Track progress religiously. Use apps, spreadsheets, or even an old-school notebook. Seeing your emergency fund grow, debt shrink, and investments climb is addicting in a good way. You'll actually look forward to paying bills because you're winning instead of whining. Here's the final reality check. Average Karen, still broke in 20 years, crying over student loans and expired 401ks. Smart Chad following this roadmap, emergency fund complete, debt crushed, investing automated, side hustles boosting income, and passive income stacking. That's freedom, flexibility, and actual fun with money.